So the weather outside is frightful, and the broadcast is so delightful. It's December. Let it snow. No, let's not let it snow. This is Coffee and Headlines. It's December 1st. Can you believe it? It's the holiday season. I'm not feeling the Christmas cheer, but maybe just a little bit. I have decided to whip out my Christmas music playlists and whatnot. We will get into the spirit, and why not? This is Coffee and Headlines. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. Today, as always, we're going to share headlines from our city, our state, and our country. We're going to take a look at your comments, your ideas on how to best connect with each other and with our destination as a community of English-speaking locals. It is always a pleasure to get together with you, and particularly it is a pleasure to welcome those of you that are watching live for the first time. If that is your case, you can let us know by writing the word new in your comment, and we'll be so very happy to give you a nice little welcome. And of course, if there's something really important on your mind, if there's something really important that you wish to share with us, please feel free to add a capital letter Q at the beginning of your comment, and that way we will know that this is something we will be looking for and addressing during the comment section. Today we have news about December-y things, events. The pilgrimages are beginning today, or they may have already begun for all I know. We're going to talk about what that means. Oh, there's a new person. Patricia McCartney is new. Welcome, Patricia. It's a pleasure to see you, and it's a pleasure to have you join us this morning. I hope you find something of use here at Coffee and Headlines, and if not, at least something that'll make you smile. Yesterday, we introduced a new critter to our list of correspondents, the farting iguana. I can't believe I put that online. Show me another news outlet in Puerto Vallarta that has farting iguanas. You cannot find them anywhere else other than at Coffee and Headlines. Let's start with the news. So again, as we were mentioning in the intro, it is December 1st, and the traditional peregrinaciones, or processions to honor the Virgin of Guadalupe, are back in town between today and December 12th, when Mexico celebrates Virgin of Guadalupe Day. Every day between now and then, families, groups of people, companies, employees, and so forth gather together to walk from different points around the city to the Church of Guadalupe in El Centro to honor Our Lady of Guadalupe, also known as the Virgin of Guadalupe. This is a Catholic title of Mary, Mother of Jesus, associated with a series of live apparitions which are believed to have occurred in December of 1531. We'll get into more details about this important event in the next few days. In the meantime, here is some practical information about the peregrinaciones. Peregrinaciones are listed on the paper as to who is going to walk when and so forth and so on, it is sometimes good to know when they're happening because they go through the streets of Puerto Vallarta. And if you're driving or attempting to get somewhere through El Centro, it can be a little bit more complicated due to traffic. As a general rule, from when I used to be a driver, I would make it a point to, between December 1st and December 12th, simply avoid driving through El Centro just to make sure that I can get to my destination on time. And of course, if you are interested in being a part of the peregrinaciones or just watching, many streets throughout El Centro get somewhat closed or partially closed or completely closed during the evenings, as the city tries to encourage pilgrims to walk during the evening hours when there's less traffic. There's a lot of street food available as the closer you get to the church. There's a lot of great photo opportunities, just, of watching people expressing their faith. So this is a fun thing to do at least once. If you've never walked around downtown when the peregrinaciones are happening, this is probably one of those things that you want to do if you consider yourself an English-speaking local. And of course, if you are of faith, then this is an important time to consider going to the church and checking in on Mexico's Catholic Mother. Moving right along, I have follow-up information on this business of not having a municipal tourism director. This didn't take long. That since we haven't had a municipal tourism director for the past 3 months, now the city council is exhorting Mayor Michel to name a new one. And at the same time, wondering why this has not been done before. This is the city council expecting our mayor to do something about this. And of course, the mayor has decided to take matters into his hands, and he will probably be naming a new person sometime in the near future. We don't know who this person will be, but we will definitely keep you posted about this. In other news, Puerto Vallarta could have more beaches certified by Blue Flag, said Joaquín Arturo Díaz, executive director of Mexico's Fundación de Educación Ambiental, or Environment Education Foundation. We recall here at Coffee and Headlines that Blue Flag was in Nayarit recently, celebrating the certification of 4 different locations throughout the state. Also, according to Diaz, the organization has even reached out to several beachfront hotels in our city for which such a certification would make the hotels more appealing to tourists. So why doesn't Puerto Vallarta have more beaches certified by Blue Flag? Well, all that is needed is for the city to fill out the corresponding application forms, said the director. And of course, we recall that hold on just a second. Where are my notes? We recall that Blue Flag is one of the world's most recognized voluntary awards for beaches, marinas, and sustainable boating tourism operators, and a series of stringent environmental, education, safety, and accessibility criteria must be met in order to maintain such a certification. And I took a quick look at the Blue Flag map on their website to see what's going on at present time. And of course, there are now 4 local beaches that are certified by Blue Flag, and these are from top to bottom: Playa de Oro near the Maritime Terminal, the Sheraton Beach, and that would be, okay, there's Playa de Oro here, and then we have the Sheraton Beach, and then we have the Camarones Beach, which is at the beginning of the Malecón, and of course there is Palmares Beach south of the city. And moving into other news, one more from the book fair in Guadalajara, and this is somewhat disappointing. Even Mexico's President Andrés Manuel López Obrador got into the book fair scuffle, claiming that the acclaimed international book fair taking place in Guadalajara is run by so-called conservatives that are against his political movement. And I ask myself, since when did a book fair become such an important political vehicle? I suppose that the thousands of people attending the event don't care that much about politics, and that the event is more cultural than political. But this year, as opposed to years before, or maybe I was just not paying attention, there seems to be a lot of political grumblings around what should, in my opinion, be just a cultural event. But what do we know? We know it is time for the weather. That's what we know. Uh, that's snarky. Today is a perfect day to kick a hipster. Okay, maybe we won't do that. Maybe we'll have a burger instead. It is 26 degrees today. It's 78 degrees Fahrenheit. Humidity is at 57. Not bad. Not bad for this time of year. And our weather forecast for today says we're going to have a clear day with a high of 28 and a low of 21. Tomorrow, Friday, will be a partly cloudy day with a high of 30 and a low of 21. And then Saturday, we will have a partly cloudy day with a high of 30 and a low of 21. This is lovely. The weekend is approaching. The first weekend of December, and of course, we know that the Art Vallarta Museum usually has a first Saturday of every month event. I haven't seen their Facebook event yet. Hopefully they will publish something. But in the meantime, I do have other events that I would like to share with you. But first, I am looking for your reaction. Please picture this scenario. There is someone from your past, from your very distant past. I am talking 25, 30 years almost, with whom you don't have much contact. Maybe there's been 2 or 3 Facebook messages in the last 20 years or so. And then this person sends you a message that reads as follows. What does it say? I am thinking of coming to Puerto Vallarta. Do you know of any fun places to stay? Now, there are 2 parts of me. There is a part of me that is, as believe it or not, very private and very protective of my own personal time. And whenever I see statements like that, I just want to run and hide, because this probably could translate into someone that you may or may not have something in common with today, who may or may not have expectations from you because you happen to live in the city. And that's the one side of me. The other side of me, which of course derives a lot of pleasure in creating connections, is the part that just wants to answer the question. And I did. I answered the question. I suggested a particular hotel where I think this friend will enjoy himself. But I check it out. Here's this comment from Chris saying they are wanting to come stay at your place, run and hide. So all snark aside, the question is, how do we manage unwanted invitations, unwanted guests, all these situations that tend to appear in our lives, and to stay sane and to be mindful of our personal privacy and emotional needs? And here's an interesting question. Did this person at least say, hi, how are you? It's been a while since I saw you. Actually, the answer to that question, Michal, is no, which is yet something else that makes me think I want to run and hide. Anyhow, Luisa, that is snarky. Give them a bad hotel address. Anyhow, keep throwing in your comments. We'll take a look at these. And here I was thinking I was a bad guy. But I'm just loving your comments. We'll get to them in a second. I do have another couple of announcements and reminders that I want to share with you before we dive into this topic that seems to have stirred a few of you. I love it. I wanted to also let you know that our very dear friend and cluster member Gary Green reached out to me yesterday to inform me that he has now been named president of the Amapas Neighborhood Association, and that they have a couple of upcoming events that might be of interest to folks living in Amapas and also to the general public as well. The association is hosting an Amapas night out on Tuesday, December 6th, with a three-course gourmet dinner at El Dorado restaurant. And then they have a Meet Your Neighbors and Holiday White Elephant, whatever that is. I'm not familiar with that expression. Um, but this white elephant thing is going to happen on Friday, December 9th from 6 to 8 p.m. This is a complimentary event. Obviously, the dinner is not. But you may be thinking, well, why would I be concerned about this if I don't live in Amapas? Well, let me tell you that it is worth mentioning that the Amapas Neighborhood Association is one of the most visible, most active neighborhood associations in the city. They are constantly involved in a variety of improvement projects that are clearly visible to all of us. For example, all the sidewalks that have been built along Highway 200 in that general area, the Amapas Neighborhood Association had a hand in that. The high heel shuffle, the event, the high heel event that happens during Gay Pride, Amapas Neighborhood Association had a hand in that. The remodeling of certain staircases that connect the neighborhood to the city, Amapas has been very, very involved. So even if you don't live, and here's Gary, thank you very much. Gary, please let me know if I'm mumbling and fumbling through my pitch. But um, it is just like we said the other day. We talked about the garden club, beautifying the city for all of us. Amapas Neighborhood Association has done the same thing. And so even if you don't live in Amapas, chances are that if you go to these events, you're going to meet some really nice folk. And of course, I'm going to leave you with their Facebook page so that you can keep abreast of all the things, excuse me, that are going on there. Moving right along, I want to bring a couple of reminders of other fun events that are coming up that are just right around the corner. The first one being this Lázaro Cárdenas disco night that we had mentioned a few days ago. At the time, we assumed that this was going to benefit a certain association, but no association had been named. And now they have updated their information, and now we know that proceeds from this outdoor disco party night at Lázaro Cárdenas Park will benefit the Rise Orphanage. So if this is important to you, here is a fun event to enjoy this coming Sunday at 5 p.m. at Plaza Lázaro Cárdenas. Then on the 7th, there is the Bucket Brigade. We talked about this a few days ago. This is an effort by Nacho Daddy and our friend Susan Amani, in which you are encouraged to bring a bucket full of non-perishable food to Nacho Daddy on December the 7th between 1 and 4 p.m. And this goes to help families, local families, celebrate a good Christmas dinner. So if this is something that you want to participate in, I'm going to leave it with you in the show notes along with this performance by the Puerto Vallarta Men's Chorus. Deck the Halls is going to take place on December the 8th. And this is going to happen at Culture. And then, of course, at Culture, you'll also have an opportunity to enjoy the shopping that you can do at the different gallery studios located at this location. The Men's Chorus is also going to have a concert, Christmas concert on Saturday, December 10th with the Montreal Gay Men's Chorus, or at least an ensemble from them. And this is going to be at the Iglesia de la Santa Cruz, or the Holy Cross Church in Colonia Emiliano Zapata. And let us not forget about what seems to be this wonderful Cuban Latin jazz concert that is going to be offered twice on November 9th and 10th at Barcelona Tapas here in Puerto Vallarta, featuring Bobby Carcases and Roberto Carcases. These are father and son Cuban jazz performers. So this is going to be a lot of fun. With that said, now we can turn over to your comments just to see what everybody is up to this morning. Starting with your good mornings, which I love. Doody-doody-doo. Yay, another countdown. 2 days. You sure you don't need anything from USA? Tim, thank you very much. I need for you to get here safely. And I need for you to enjoy your time here. And I hope you will. And I need for you, well, I don't need, but think about it this way. If you were visiting Puerto Vallarta for the first time, take it all in. If you are coming back to Puerto Vallarta, think of at least one or two activities to do that you didn't do the last time, or looking at it in a different angle. Try to broaden your comfort zone a little bit and try exploring something you haven't done before. I am sure you won't regret doing that. Let's see what else we have. Many still watching World Cup. Mexico put on a good performance. Better results next time. Go USA. Thank you for that, Spencer. Let's see. Chris is already in the spirit. The wife and I are doing our Christmas tree, cookies, oatmeal, ginger snaps, and shortbread. Yummy. I love it. I love it. Oh gosh, snowing on Donner Pass. We are expecting 3 feet. I remember snow ever so vaguely. Jill is in the house. I love it. I hope the missus is feeling better, Jill, and I hope the two of you are doing great. Oh, no, thank you. No, I would not want to be the new tourism director. I am very humbled, Clay, but I enjoy creating connections from my living room so much more than all the grumbles and rumbles that go on in City Hall. Do allow me the pleasure to continue creating nice connections from where I sit, Clay, but I appreciate the nomination. Let's see what else. There's another cue. New season of Taco Chronicles on Netflix. Don't watch on an empty stomach. We had to pause for lunch. I love it. I'm going to check it out. Thank you very much for the tip. Let's see what else. Oh, and here come the comments about what I shared with you. I like Alan's comment who says I should answer. I'm sorry, who's that? Who are you? Ay, ay, ay. Lee says the proper answer is too many hotels to mention, then add a link to a Puerto Vallarta tourism site. Done. Well, that's the thing. I think what I like to do is to answer a couple of messages, but then if the person starts getting clingy, it's kind of like, do your own Google search, may the force be with you kind of scenario. At least that's for me. Sherry says, a real friend does not stay out of touch that long, then looks to stay in your home. Well, okay, this is how fake news gets started. I don't think he's looking, well, I don't hope he's looking to stay at my home. And, and I don't mind it when people that are not even my friends reached out to me for information. The part that fries my noodles, and maybe because I do this on a regular basis, is the fact that, if I want to find out fun places to stay somewhere, the first thing that I do is I Google it. I don't hit a person with such an open-ended question. It's kind of like going to the doctor and the doctor tells you what are the symptoms, and you say, well, I feel itchy, and the doctor asks where, and you say all over. That's not providing a lot of helpful information, right? Renee says to not respond is a response, and I must admit I've done that before. Let's see what else. Oh, thank you. White Elephant is like a garage sale. I had no idea. This is news to me. So, Gary, can you confirm that what you're actually going to have is a garage sale? Because, Casa Cúpula, you don't show up with chingaderas that you want to sell unless it is a garage sale. So that seems like an interesting choice of words for a poolside event, but what do I know? Maybe you can update your description. Actually, you don't have Facebook events, do you? Maybe you should you may want to consider making Facebook events, Gary, so that other people can reach you, unless you want to keep it small and private. But anyway, thank you for the explanation of the white elephant. Let's see what else we have. Oh, Muffin, happy December to you too. My friend Logan is one of the best Christmas gifts one could ever have every single day of the year. Enough said. Oh, thank you for that, Mark. Just as an FYI, Walmart's by By Sam's Club is doing free flu shots just inside the entrance. We got ours yesterday. Very quick and easy. Just bring your ID with you. Thank you very much for that. Oh, here's another explanation. White elephant gifts tend to be passed around from event to event. Who knows who will end up with it? We had cows. We had a cow's skull that was passed around our family for years during our white elephant Christmas. I love it. Who knew? Uh, 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 uh. Yes, I know I started with a ho comment. This is the only time of year you can greet someone with ho and they don't get offended or not too offended. Well, if they get offended, then maybe you shouldn't greet them to begin with, or maybe you add them to the list of people not to greet the next time you bump into them. Thank you for that, Harold. A fundraising event tomorrow at Roofies for the Sula Society Dog Shelter from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. 10 more sleeps, says David. Good for you. And another cue. Paco, does this mean we can't stay with you this winter? Oh, honey, my place is so filthy you would hate it. But I'm sure you'll find a fabulous place to stay. Michal says, I have a good friend who thinks I am Google here. Well, girl, this happens only because you are letting it happen. Frank reminds us, thank you, Frank. You know, I noticed this halfway through the broadcast. There are 3 shindigs in which the men's chorus is involved in. One is appearing as a guest at Culture. Then they have a shindig on the 10th at Act 2. And then they have that other shindig at the church. The best thing to do is to follow any of these events or follow the Puerto Vallarta Gay Men's Chorus Facebook page so that you can stay in touch. And Gary explains the white elephant is more like a holiday exchange. Everyone brings an inexpensive gift and passed around. Oh, I had another name for that. I've played this game before, and I don't even remember what it's called, but I like the name White Elephant. Great advice, says Tim. You know, I got in touch with. I always get in touch with friends that are coming into town, and I had dinner with our dear friend Christy, our resident rescuer of squirrels and raccoons. Christy is expanding her comfort zone this trip because today she's heading out to Ajijic, and she's hoping to explore Guadalajara for the first time. So, Tim, my wish for you is to, you know, reach out to new places and new neighborhoods to explore and new restaurants to visit and new friends to make. This is something that everybody should is not a nice word. Everybody would benefit from. There you go. Let's see what else. Oh, Charles remarks on yesterday. Yesterday's episode was one of the best. Love the cluster members' breeze jokes during the Wednesday walk. Please continue Wednesday walks. Love you and Luna. Thank you very much for that, Charles. I will throw in a couple of cents. First of all, I love fart jokes, and I have no problems admitting it. You throw a fart joke at me, and I'm going to giggle. I have friends that don't like fart jokes. This was the first time, well, not the first time that we mentioned fart jokes, but the first time that we mentioned a farting iguana. As far as Wednesday walks, you know, I will never stop walking. It will happen that the walks manifest themselves differently. For example, sometimes we go walking around a specific place, and sometimes it doesn't even happen on a Wednesday. But rest assured, Charles, that we will continue to walk and we will continue to document, and I will continue to upload the walks separately to YouTube for you to reference later. And this new walking tour and walk around maps that we discussed a couple of days ago, we will most definitely be nurturing this little by little as we move forward. And this, of course, brings us to the end of another successful broadcast. I don't think I'm missing anything today. So I'm just going to say, enjoy your Thursday. Get ready for a fun weekend. Try to participate in some of these fun events that are coming up. And stay in touch. Your questions, your suggestions, And of course, your support make a big difference to everything that we do here. So have a great day, and hopefully I'll see you again tomorrow.